Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Wrap. My name is Jessica, the big weird mom.
Oh my God.
These are falling off my head. My boobs stretched them out, I guess.
If anybody missed that video, go look at it. It's so funny. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Well, we're here. Donesh is not.
Donesh is not.
We were sitting backstage kind of wondering what we should do, if we should just come on and have whoever's on live to kind of like spam him and see if he is okay. This is not
Don't bother Donesh.
Yeah. Go ping him, do whatever, do your thing. Social media, but we figured for now we'll wait, see if he comes on, and we'll talk about some important things, and then if he doesn't show up, then we'll just talk about backless, frontless boobs. I mean, bras.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Just set an alarm for this. Someone set an alarm for this.
Oh, how are you, Jess? What's going on? I know, Tracy. I'm sorry. We talked earlier today. We don't know where he is.
Yeah, we both did. We were like, we're wondering if I'm hoping he didn't get his times wrong because we're all on different time zones. So we're hoping that wasn't the issue, but we'll find out. No, I'm good. Like I'm crazy overwhelmed and life is nuts and my account is going a little nuts and yeah, I'm good. I'm surviving.
Yeah. So what's going on with your account? Are you like just still banned or what's happening?
No. So I have 3. Both of my backups are banned right now. But my main isn't. My main is not going crazy in a bad way. It's just I posted a video about Fox News last week. And I reshared it on Twitter. It got reshared by Occupy Democrats, who has like nearly 400,000 followers on Instagram. So it's gotten a lot of traffic back to my page. I apparently got shared on Reddit too with it. Like, I guess it's been really blowing up. And I gained, I don't know, 32,000 followers in 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
And I can't keep up. And it's like, and I'm OCD and I like to engage with the people that are engaged with my content. And I'm just like, it's wild.
Your backup accounts are doing great too. You've got like
they are
5,000 followers on your third backup.
I know. I thought that was, I actually didn't even know that because I haven't been on them recently because they've been banned for 5 days. And I put an appeal in on one. I haven't been on my forever one at all because I put an appeal in. I won the appeal and they extended my ban. And I was like, wait, what? So I didn't break CV, but I got a 3-day more ban attached to the already existing ban I had. So I was like,
oh my gosh,
what the hell, TikTok? So, so I hadn't been on the forever one that now is, like at 75,000. I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? So I don't know. I don't know. Everyone, like these people are sending me messages like, oh my gosh, you're so, I'm like, I'm legit nobody. Like I'm just a Virginia mom that like just talks a lot of shit. Like I'm really nobody. It's real weird. I'm flattered, but it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it also makes me flustered with my content, but that's all right.
Yeah.
I'm not nobody, but I'm just like, I'm not like, I don't want to disappoint people. It's always my
fear. Yeah, I get that. I also get the wanting to keep up thing. And I'm so stubborn. If someone calls me out or if someone says, you're doing this wrong or, something, I just want to engage with them to prove them wrong. And it takes everything I have not to like go into comments and just like not just leave it alone. So
I know. I will say I can't keep up with my notifications. Yes. Talk about California.
California is in the apocalypse now. It's insane. We're on fire as usual. I mean, like, it's kind of expected that California's on fire in August and September. But in addition to that, we are dealing with this recall election, which is causing a lot of confusion. And that's kind of the point. As usual, the Republicans are kind of trying to just make everything into a shit show and just see what happens. And I just got my ballot, and I'm hearing so many different things. Obviously, I voted today, but this is actually kind of a lie because I haven't decided what I'm going to do for my Part B yet. So for those of you who don't know, who are not in California, the Republicans have somehow finagled themselves into a recall election for our governor, Gavin Newsom, who has apparently handled this, according to them, has handled the election or the pandemic just horribly. He dared to go out to dinner, and apparently that has made him just a pariah. So they're recalling him, and the way that the ballot is set up is that the first question is, do you want to recall him, yes or no? And obviously you want to say no to that if you're supporting the Democrats. And then there's a list of, I need to look and see how many are on here. There's like, I'd say 25 names, maybe more. Maybe,
oh, wow. That's crazy.
Know, 40. And they're all like, I don't want to show my ballot on social media because I don't want to. I think that's wrong, right?
Yeah. Don't do that.
Tracy is saying she left the rest blank. So the official Newsom campaign obviously is saying they want you to leave the rest blank and to only vote no. Logically, I guess I understand that. It's like, if enough people say yes, that they want to recall him, there's really no way that anyone Democratic is going to win. But it just seems like counterintuitive to me not to vote for anyone. Who's blue.
Right. So. Does it say on the ballot if they're Democratic or Republican? The alternative?
Yeah.
Okay, it does.
Yeah.
And, okay.
So, yeah. And from what I've heard, the front runner for the Democratic Party is a YouTuber.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Who? Does it have a name?
Here, let me look it up.
I'm curious because I watch a couple Democratic YouTubers, so I'm curious.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull it up. And I'll also check and see if Danish has responded. Okay.
Oh, okay. So TS said that you could, in the blank part where it said you could add a name, they wrote Governor Newsom's name in it.
Oh, okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because the awful part about it is that there could be more no votes for removing him from office than there are votes, because it's a simple majority for the winner. Right. So there could be more no votes to remove Newsom from office than to reinstate a new governor. And also, for those of you who don't know, if our resident dinosaur, I just said her name, what's her name? Feinstein kicks it, then we're back to, and we have a Republican governor who reinstates, a Republican, then we lose the majority. So that would have some pretty terrible repercussions for the whole country, not just California.
Okay.
So, let's see. YouTuber hunts views and votes in California recall bill. Kevin Paffrath, a real estate agent and YouTube content creator, poses for a picture at the campaign rally in Echo Park in Los Angeles. Let's see. The only time Californians voted to recall a governor, they replaced him with a Hollywood megastar. This time, it could be a 29-year-old YouTube star who ends up leading the nation's most populous state. It's a very long shot, but Kevin Paffrath could conceivably win simply because he has some name recognition by virtue of his nearly 1.7 million followers on his video channel, where he dispenses financial advice. The other 8 Democrats running are essentially unknowns. The Democratic field is filled with anonymous political neophytes because of Governor Gavin Newsom's successful strategy of discouraging any prominent Democrats from running in the September 14th election. His goal was to make it an all or nothing proposition for voters: keep Newsom or live with the consequences of picking a replacement with a far different policy agenda. Man, I mean, like, can it hurt to vote for someone blue? Like,
I mean, here's the thing, though. The problem is it's likely that many people already did what you were kind of suggested to not put anything. So it's like, I get what you're saying, but I'm like, is it going to help?
Right.
If so many people have been advised to not mark anything.
Right.
Like, okay, I'm upset because Donish commented on his own post 11 minutes ago. So he's alive and well, and he's not here. Okay. Go comment on Donish's most recent video and say, hey, the Rabbit Hole Heroines are awaiting your arrival. Yeah, I just commented. I was like, dude.
13. Yeah, you're right.
I commented.
I'm going to comment too.
Oh my gosh. You know what the really fun part about being someone who discredits disinformation is that all of your friends send you the most wildest human beings on TikTok to view their videos. And you're like, who the hell are these people?
I know, it makes me, oh wow, Natalie already follows me. Oops. Let's see. Well, next week, we should talk about next week. We've got Natalie Misfit Mama.
Yes, Natalie Misfit Mama. I'm excited about that. She's amazing. She was a former political GOP campaign manager. So she actually helped Republicans on their campaigns and has done that for a living. And then I can't remember if she's a never Trumper. I don't think she wanted Trump in 2016. I'm pretty sure she was for Hillary. But she was definitely Bernie or bust when it came to 2020. So she was devastated when he didn't make it out as the candidate, but she did vote for Biden. But I just really love her because she's very down to earth and she's really kind of pushed back against a lot of people that are Republican, both in her life and of course on this platform on TikTok. And I think it's been really good. I feel like the more people that are in the conservative party or have been in it and like really speak out and can kind of align with some of their views has such a better ability to reach people. I mean, I sometimes think that about myself. I mean, I was a former Republican, but not to the point where I was like sponsoring candidates, like that wasn't something I did. So that to me seems like a pretty substantial and reach and someone who has a lot of intelligence on the conservative political side. So I'm excited to have her come on.
Tracy says, did you look at Angeline, the pink Corvette lady that I last used to chase her down in Hollywood in the 80s? What?
The pink Corvette lady? What is that? Who is this person?
Oh, wow.
She's something.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. This sun is driving me nuts. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, she's a lot. What is it about her? She's on the ballot?
On the ballot. Oh, my gosh.
I will not be voting for that. I would not. y'all.
And then this guy John Drake too. He I guess he sells merch on his website, and it's like kink porn stuff. Let me see what
Ooh. Alrighty. Risque.
John Drake.
I cannot believe, like, that's crazy to me. I need to put myself on a ballot. I need to run for office.
I know. I want to.
If that chick can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, I want to get McClintock out of my county, whatever. Okay, let's see. John Drake for governor.
5 minutes. He'll be on in 5 minutes.
Okay.
He answered me. He's getting dressed. He said that he didn't know what time it was.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. He's coming. He's coming. He's got to put clothes on. It's no thirst trap Thursday for y'all ladies. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I have to talk about he posted this thirst trap video yesterday, thirst trap Tuesday, I guess. And where my Patriots at? And yeah, basically like all these women were like, oh, my IUD just fell out. And oh my God, I thought how I'm getting pregnant through the internet. And like, it's so funny. He's like, what? Hi in Australia. I have been battling disinformation and for your country lately. Good God Almighty. Yeah, I'm sure they get on it for publicity, but I like legit want to run for a local office position. I am trying to figure out the logistics of it because there's just so much to it and paperwork, and you have to like it's just a lot. And I've looked into a little bit. We have our governor's race coming up in November, so we'll be voting on that here soon. But yeah, I'm gonna look into it. Maybe the school board or something local level to like start out and just see. Yeah. It's just a time commitment, you know. It's like I still have 3 kids, I still have a job, I still have a very active social media life right now, and so it's like trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Scott and Emily Stewart.
Okay, so I found meet some of the most colorful candidates on the recall election ballot. Most likely to come home with a new puppy every weekend, Dan Kapelovitz.
Most likely to come home with a puppy every weekend? Governor.
He posed a simple yet poignant question in prospective voters. Can you dig it? But it's necessary to look beyond these 4 words and his wide frame goggles to understand his platform, which he laid out on his website. He's an animal and civil rights attorney. There you go. Oh, here we go. Most likely to paint the Capitol pink, Angeline. Most likely to give random strangers compliments on the street, Adam Popagan. Next to Adam's photo in the voting guide are 2 words, love you. Okay.
Can I be governor of TikTok? Is that a thing? I don't know why. I think it's so funny. There's a handful of people that call me Mama Bear. Like I've got a lot of nicknames, CMR, whatever. But DT Bro and Matt Galveston. There's like three. I'm gonna say boys. 3 boys that call me Mama or Mama Bear, and I'm like, y'all, you're like the same age or older than me. I don't know if I should be offended or flattered, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like I know I'm older than DT Bro. Look who it is.
So sorry. So rude of me. I apologize.
We knew we'd get you eventually. It's all right. It's all right.
We sent everybody to come get you.
Yeah, we're just gonna send an army of
Thank you for not. Yeah.
Welcome our.
I was literally on a run, and I rushed back and jumped into our.
Oh, well, I hope you had a good run.
Yeah, it was all right.
I feel like we're looking at your videos right now because you have the little square, and I feel like it's just your like this is your video. No, you're good. I like it. I think it's great. It's
all right.
It's your style. It's perfect. It's your perfect style.
Perfect. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. So how are you?
I'm doing all right. Thank you. A what?
Mr. Thirst Trap. Mr.
Your
Thirst
thirst
Trap.
trap yesterday.
We were talking about I was talking about your like the lady dropped the IUD with your little style video. I was like, what?
The comments are hilarious on that.
I love it so much.
Someone said that my IUD fell out. Three people told me they were submissive and breedable in the comments for everyone to see. And I'm like I'm not giving you babies.
Things.
So well, that's what John Drake's shirt says. We were literally just talking about this. Okay, so John Drake is one of these weirdo Republican, or I don't know if he's Republican, but the governor on the ballot for the recall. And somebody found, I have it right here. Somebody found his merch, and it says submissive and breedable. So it says Drake for governor of California, submissive and breedable.
Oh my God. Donish, I see your shirt in your future. No, I'm just kidding.
I never expected it to go that way. People started sending me money. I don't know who, but like I'm starting to get like someone sent $5. Some guy sent me $50. I was happy about it. I said, guys, please send more. I love it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, I want to ask you because you are the epic. I feel like you and RX are like the epic takedowners. I loved your duet with her. Your partnership takedown. But
yeah, she's pretty. She's really good at it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm as good as, because there's a couple of people who do. I don't know if I'm as good as a lot of other people, but I had the theatrics to it to kind of fluff it up.
The flair.
The flair. I got to stand out.
What do you think your best one has been so far, or the one you're most proud of? I guess
the one I'm most proud of is the guy with the blue gloves.
Yeah.
Because that guy, to this day, I don't know who it is. But I got him under FBI investigation and fired. But I don't know who he is, and they can't tell me. He did such a good job at hiding himself. He was so incredibly good at it. I mean, I tried sending him like a link that would grab his IP. He literally responded back with no. I'm like, damn. I just sent him something saying, hey, they wrote an article about you, and sent it to him, and he just said no and wouldn't click it. Like, just click it, I'll get your information.
Wow.
I probably shouldn't have said that. There.
Wait, so give me some background on this. I don't think
sorry.
I know.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sure. So there was this guy who was his account was just pure racism. It was clearly as a white supremacist. He was telling people how to set up like how their clans like shouldn't have like Protestants, Jews. Like he was giving rules on how to like make your own little KKK clan. He was awful in every way, but there's nothing to really get him on until I saw that he was printing out fake COVID vaccine cards and selling them. So, and then he had one shot, like one of his videos was a picture of him like at work, and it was just like, you could tell it's a medical office. So I thought, oh, he's selling them from a medical office. That's really illegal. But I don't know who he is. And this guy, he was on a burner. He was on a VPN. He never showed his face, only showed his hands. He wore blue gloves in his videos. So you only saw his hands against the whiteboard. So that's why I call him blue gloves, because that's literally all I know about him. Yeah. And so I just the way I found him was by trying to find everything around him. So like with the idea is, like with dark matter, we don't really know that it exists. We know that it exists because of everything around it, the gravitational pull and everything else. So that's kind of like the same deal with this. I know everything around him that exists except him. At this point, I didn't though in the beginning. But he had one post up early on, and when I find people, I usually go to like the earliest thing they post because that's where they're usually a little more careless.
Yep.
Right.
And he had one post from Facebook where he was just making fun of this girl who posted something he didn't like. And so I tried to look her up on Facebook, and sure enough, I had a mutual friend with her. And so I was like, oh, okay, well then he must be in her friends list. And so her friends list was private. So I messaged my mutual friend and said, can you snoop through her friends list for me? And she said, I don't know what I'm looking for. And she was getting kind of annoyed at me, kind of bugging her, like, look for this. Well, the person that she was going through, she just out of nowhere put everything on private, like even for her friends, like they couldn't see her friends list or anything. So I messaged her directly and I sent her the screenshot of the video and said, this guy's like putting up videos about you. I'm trying to catch him. Do you want to help me? And she said, no. was like, really, just like any help at all? Like, I just need you to, like, if you could friend me, I'll just go through your friends list. She said, that's creepy. I'm like, I get it, but I'm trying to help you. And, you know, I don't blame her, but like, she didn't want nothing to do with it. And so that was kind of a wrench in the whole thing. And it took about a week of just kind of looking through his videos, looking through every frame and just trying to find something. And we found this, I say we, because I have someone who works for me, but does not want to be identified at all.
Right.
They're not on TikTok or anything. And her and I were going through everything, trying to look for this person. And he had one picture up, he said, of work, and it was just his lobby. And we're like, we got to find that lobby. And so we went through every single medical office that we could find that was like a chain, so that we thought maybe we could try to narrow it down this way. It was taking forever until we just decided to go and find out where that girl who wouldn't give me any information, we're like, let's not dox, but like, let's find out where she lives and maybe we can narrow it down. Found out she lives in Leavenworth, Washington. So then we're like, okay, we could just check all the hospitals here. And that's what we did. We just combed through all the hospital lobbies until we found one that matched. And the match was like, so you have the picture of the lobby that he put up, and there was a little side mirror right at the very top. And if you zoomed into that side mirror, you got a little image of like a little tree or something. And that matched this bigger image that we found of a tree in a lobby.
My God.
So like, it was from like a little detail in a picture. We found the lobby. So once we found that, we're like, we got his hospital. And once we got his hospital, we were trying to narrow it down from there. And we saw that when in one video, he wore white gloves. In one video, when he wore white gloves, you could see that his skin was a little darker. So like, okay, so we kind of have an idea what he looks like compared to everyone else. Everyone in Leavenworth, Washington is white. So we're like, this guy's a little bit darker. So we know that we're trying to narrow it down. But still, we didn't have what we needed to, you know, give a name and go for it and say this guy is doing this. But then we found one more video of him with like a coworker, and she had a mask on, but like he just like kind of recorded her, kind of. But she knew he was recording, but there's no way he knew what it was for. But he was being kind of creepy about it. And in other videos, he says that he'll turn up the AC so that he could see all the medical assistants' nips get hard. Like, he was total scumbag. So
he's gross.
Right. So then I thought, here's a way we could do it. So we thought we could report him. We could just go ahead and report him and say that she is also in the video, so that when she gets in trouble, she'll point out who it is, because she knows. So knowing everything else around him, that kind of helped. But once we sent that information to HR, they recognized the voice right away and said, well, we know who that is. And and so then that girl who also got in trouble with him, she also helped confirm, yep, it's him. And so they called us and they told us he has been let go. He is now under FBI investigation. If you have anything else, send it to, here. And so I know for a fact he got fired, but we were like, can you tell us who he is so I could claim my victory? I worked really hard on this. No, he's obviously not going to tell me. So I would every now and then come back and re-report him as someone else, just to kind of frustrate them to kind of give something away. Because I just want the name now at this point. And the PR guy won't give it away. And so I know the way I'm going to finally get his name is once the investigation's done. I'm literally checking the news all the time.
Yeah, it's going to be broadcasted. You know it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want the name. So once I get that name, I will claim that victory. But that took a long time, and it sounds like it. Satisfying to finish.
Yeah,
I
was kind of happy.
That's for sure.
What was that?
She said, "I will never piss you off."
You both spoke at the same time. I didn't hear a thing.
I will never piss you off. Is what I said.
Piss you off. I won't. Okay, I get that comment a lot. I will never do this for a personal grievance.
Right. I get that comment too sometimes.
Yeah, I will never do that over a personal grievance, because I could get in trouble for that, especially if it's someone who's a good person in general. That guy deserved it.
Yeah. Well, no, I was kind of excited when I saw Nurse Maggie, because I was kind of looking into her too. And I'm like, and I said, I knew she wasn't a nurse. I knew she was still in nursing school. So I knew she hadn't graduated. And I'm just like, this person is horrible. Why does she have sponsors? And she really wants to be a social media influencer. That's what she wants. She doesn't want to be a nurse.
That's all she wants. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, but I love your theatrics. I love your takedowns. They're amazing.
And I'll be honest, I'm not taking full credit for Nurse Maggie. Like there was so many people. We did this on Instagram. Yeah. So many people got involved in content.
Petty Betty. I saw Petty Betty Broccoli got involved.
Yes, she was on top of that. But there were so many people contacting because there were over 20 brands, probably more. And she was fooling them. She would lie about being a nurse. She would lie about the brands she had, and so it was really hard to like catch all of them. But that took a effort of everyone involved.
Yeah. Do you ever like get worried? I guess, I know you have kids and you have a life, and like, what do you do to kind of keep yourself sane and protected and in the midst, because you've made yourself kind of a public figure in this. You've made news about this.
Yeah. And the people who oppose it are very, very passionate. The things that I go after, like especially the COVID stuff. So I did scrub myself. But that doesn't mean that I'm impossible to find. And right. I've said it before too, because people have asked me like, how do you hide? Like, how would I hide from someone? Like, it's not possible to completely hide. You could just make it difficult. And that's what I've done. I made it so the average person would have a lot of trouble finding me. But if I motivated people, I would be found instantly. But I do live in the middle of nowhere, and I work from home. So, and I don't really give out a lot of my family or personal information. So it would just take somebody really being motivated. But the thing is, most of the times when any of us get death threats, it's usually kids who are just like frustrated.
Oh yeah. Who are just putting stuff out into the internet. I know. Yeah. I will say I loved when you chimed in on the Telegram that one day. That was kind of nice.
I don't know if that was the best idea.
Class, bye.
Just go right into like the Dragon's Den and just like cuss them out.
Yeah, it was. So he jumped into Right Side Baddie's Telegram one day, and and mainly I think this had to do with Little Country Girl, who's
little county
girl, county. Smaller than that.
Not quite a city. County.
No, county. And she's still just raging about the amount of accounts she's lost. So she's apparently been some kind of creator of the pickup location hashtag. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
If you type in pickup location, which I'm like, that's a weird hashtag for people that are against child trafficking, but whatever.
Yeah.
But if you type that into TikTok, it'll show you all of the conservatives who've been banned on TikTok.
That's hilarious. That's just like that's a wall of victories. Why would they post that? Okay.
Right. But yeah, so he came in and he basically kind of like, she was blasting him, and he came in and responded. It was amazing.
I wanted her to know I was watching. Well, because I don't know if it's okay for me to say, but you were feeding me.
They know I'm in there. They know I'm in there.
You were feeding me stuff she was saying, and I eventually just like, you know what, I've had enough of this. So I went in there and I cussed her out because she was originally mad at me because I took down a pedophile, and she got mad and said, why don't you go after real pedophiles and Pizzagate bullshit? And I'm like, dude, you're so useless. Like you shut up. And it just frustrated me so much because I'm like, what? Don't tell me what to do. You're like living in like a fantasy world, and you want me to just like chase your little fantasy. No. But the problem with people like her and people like Skin Suit and other people that, the Right Side Baddie and all them, they have very little to lose. And because they'll get doxxed, they'll get people coming after them so often that what else do you take? So at this point, I don't even engage. Like I saw that county girls making the rounds going after people again, and I just blocked because at this point they're just looking to feed off attention.
Oh yeah. And
I just don't want to give it any more to that.
Yeah, I kind of like with Baddie, I was the same way. Like, she intentionally provoked me though, and I didn't take the bait. In fact, I blocked her, I ignored her, whatever. But like people started sending me like videos of her like threatening and like or comments in her comment section threatening me. And I'm like, like you preach this like I want to be open to all this and blah blah. I'm like, and yet you're condoning this bullshit in your comment section. So that definitely like made me unblock. And we had a conversation, but she's still she is what she is. Like it's what it is.
I've never had an interaction with her, so I don't actually even know her.
You're so lucky.
You know what? I had a list of people. Someone gave me a list of people that like do that sort of thing and the doxing and stuff too. And I just went through blocking them because like I just would rather never interact with these people.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to be a back and forth, and I don't want to do that. Like I actually want their content on my page.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So luckily, I'm not. Lucky for her, I mean. But,
Exactly.
But yeah, I did have. I don't usually like to like do grievance. If I'm going after someone, I like there to be like some sort of
oh yeah, something they've done personally.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I had somebody or a friend of mine on TikTok, Live Trap. She messaged me and said this guy's threatening me in my comments, or he's trying to dox me in my comments. And he had just put her in the comments. He put her city and state and said, I'm going to send you something in the mail. And just being just kind of a jerk and saying like, oh, and he also said like, oh, the Holocaust should have got you or something like that. I don't even know if she's doing. So I just responded. I said, you have 10 minutes to apologize. Look at my content, see if you think I'm bluffing. I don't care when you see this. Time starts now. And 10 minutes, he didn't. He tried to hide all of his information instead, change his username, all that. So in 10 minutes, I put his city, state, and I said, you have 5 more minutes. And he didn't say anything. So I'm like, I put the name of his girlfriend, and I said, we could keep going. And he didn't say anything. So I put the name of his company. And I said, after this one, I am contacting your company. And then he didn't say anything. So all right, I'm saying all this to your company. I gave him so many chances to apologize.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I agree. Like, yeah, I definitely like the fact that you're focusing on accountability. And we both like saw your video right before we jumped online. But, you know, I know even sometimes I've done a similar series like you do, kind of like he died, kind of, you know, broadcasting these very large platform individuals who have made a mockery of the vaccines, have been very vocal about it and public about it. And naturally they're killing people. I mean, that's what they're doing. And I saw it like, and I agree, like your response was perfect in the fact that, you know, I'm not like celebrating death. Like I hate that people want to view it that way. I'm like, for me, at least, I'm celebrating the fact that this is one less person who has a huge platform that's pushing disinformation.
Absolutely. And like that toll that it's taken on us mentally to be like, we're wearing masks to protect other people, and they adamantly will not do it. And then we're dying. And so, and then once, you know, Delta comes around and now it's basically karma, and they're dying. I told you, you endangered me for a year and you didn't care. And now all of a sudden I'm supposed to have compassion. I don't have any compassion left. I gave it to you for a year. When I was wearing my mask, that was compassion. It's gone now. Like all of that is gone. And so I don't feel bad. However, I am very sensitive when it comes to like the case of like a pregnant woman will get COVID and die. It's sad. It's incredibly sad. And for me at least, you know, having children too, and it's just I cannot find a humor there, even for myself. And the humor is really just a coping mechanism. But even for that, I just go, this is incredibly sad.
And it's tough too, I think, with the pregnancy, because we don't have concrete. I mean, most OBGYNs are recommending the vaccine for pregnant moms right now, just because they're seeing. But it's not technically confirmed, and I know that. Like, it's not, you know, set in stone that they think it's a great idea. But you know, like there's a TikToker on here that was kind of like, yeah, F your vaccine. She's very pregnant. You know, but we're seeing, it was in Alabama just recently, 34 women hospitalized, pregnant women hospitalized. 10 of them had to do preterm labor. 10 were on vents, 2 died. Like, I mean, these are women that were like getting ready to embark in this new chapter of their life, and it's getting either taken away from them altogether, or they're, you know, what the likelihood of long hauler, it's very likely. Like, these people may not be able to enjoy the rest of their lives being new moms. So it's really upsetting. I agree.
Yeah, and preventable, and that's what's so heartbreaking about it. And I did one about a video about a pregnant woman who had passed away right after she got COVID right around the end of it, gave birth, immediately went into the on a ventilator, and then died like a week later. And and a lot of these ones where they're not big famous people, people that know them personally have reached out to me and said, I want you to talk about this because A, B, and C is happening. And so I mentioned it, and I said, this person passed away. And it's sad. And I did not treat that as anything funny. I literally was like in tears as I was like saying it. But then I led to, and the husband what is he doing now? Trying to raise a baby, and he's putting up ads saying he wants non-COVID vaccine breast milk is what he's looking for. I'm like, you didn't learn from any of this? Like, what do you mean non-COVID? What? And he's still posting anti-vax stuff, and that was so infuriating to me that his wife died for nothing. He learned nothing from it, and that was and so a close family friend sent that to me, who was really upset. A family friend of the deceased mother. They were furious, and so they sent it to me and said, "I want you to shame this guy." And I said, "Okay." So I made him the target.
Yeah, I just found out recently, and I haven't even done a video on it, and I'm going to. But I don't know if you realize this: every single person that's died of COVID cannot donate organs. So every single person that has died of COVID, 600 plus thousand people, are ineligible to be organ donors because of the fact that they do not know how much damage is left in the aftermath of COVID and how it destroys the body. So, this is another huge factor that people are not keeping in mind. It's like, not only are we killing off society in a mass, but we're also creating, organs that aren't even eligible for people that could be waiting for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
In normal instance. So it just blows my mind. And another example, like what you just said, that the woman that I did the video of, where she's yelling at the school for me, my husband died of COVID, and now my daughter has to be forced to wear a mask and fearful of masks. And I'm like,
oh my God,
is this real life?
Yeah.
Mind you, the superintendent of the school is literally saying this in a room full of, and I'm not body shaming, but it was literally a room full of white, obese country folk with no masks on in a single room, like not a single mask.
Yeah.
And you hear the child that she's talking about literally like, I want to go home, like crying to her mom as she's yelling at the superintendent about how pushing back against masks while she talks about her husband who died of COVID. I'm like,
have either of you been to a school? Sorry.
We're going to see a lot more of hospitals refusing people who have not been vaccinated, and that, in my opinion, can't happen fast enough. I just got an email from my local hospital, which is UC Davis satellite. So it's kind of in the boonies, but like it's close by to it's affiliated with a big university hospital. And not only will they not take patients in the ICU who have not been vaccinated, but you can't even enter the building if you haven't been vaccinated.
Wow. So. There's another problem, and this is something that another creator is working on, and I don't want to blow it for him, but he was just talking to me about it. That there are the fake COVID vaccine cards being made, but like people in pharmacies helping to give them actual numbers, serial numbers and stuff, so they could actually look like valid ones, throwing off all the numbers and this person who told me that they have not released their video yet, and I know that they have some more work to do to get to it, so I just don't want to say too much, but like he's saying there's been like hundreds and hundreds made. Like it's
I'm
not
not
like
surprised.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
there's a ton of on Parler, like I would say half of the sponsored content right now is either like pushing something like a disability card that explains why you can't get the vaccine. Obviously, they can't sell the real fake cards because that would be a felony. But like, people, it's just people over there just trying to figure out how to cheat the system and how to make it even harder for people. And like, this is the same thing we saw right before the insurrection. These healthcare workers were trying to get people, field supplies for their attack. I mean, like it's crazy to me that the healthcare industry has so many people in it who are willing to support this. Like, it's science.
Yeah.
Like, do you not believe everything you learn? Like, what?
I know.
Yeah, they're in the wrong field. It is extremely frustrating. To add to that, there's this assisted living facility that I've been after for the past week, and it's the same thing where the guy who runs it, huge like far right wing anti-vax, anti-mask. He will not, like, he not only does he not mandate vaccines for his staff, but he actively hires unvaccinated staff. He tries to go for people who are fired from other facilities. He says unjustly fired because they were fired for not getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
And he is, and they're in 3 different states. They got plenty of locations. And so the thing that I found out too, as I dug a little more, of course, CDC comes by and gives you a bunch of these cards, the real COVID vaccine cards, and you're supposed to give people a vaccine and give them out. Well, they kept the cards and just started filling them out without giving out vaccines.
Yeah.
So now they got a bunch of fake ones out there.
Before you get too far into this, we do actually have a clip from this project that you've been working on. So I want to play it. But yes, before we start talking about it. But thank you for the segue. All right, here we go. So this is the project that he is working on and kind of has just done now. So here we go.
So there's an update to this video here. I told you I contacted the news. Keep in mind, Bonaventure Senior Living is a senior assisted living facility. That means the staff is very close with the residents, the elderly residents. And Bonaventure Senior Living's position is that since it's legal, they are happy to hire unvaccinated staff. How do you guys feel about your parents or grandparents being sent to a place like this? Let them know. This is going to be a bad week for you, Bonaventure. I would make this right.
So tell us what happened after you released that video.
Every time I put a video out, I get more and more of his employees that reach out to me because it'll reach more people. And his employees, ex-employees too, residents, family of residents, executives that have left. I'm actually in contact with one through text who is also in contact with current employees over there. And I'm not going to say which location, but he was able to text me once and said, they're having a morning meeting and they're talking about you. And I was like, can you tell me what they're saying so I could like send them a message about it? So just to freak him out. He's like, no, that'll give me away. I'm like, so like my ears are everywhere. I have I have people sending me emails and stuff like that. The problem is with a lot of it is that when I go to the news, I went to every news station as well with it too. Yeah. And a lot of them picked it up. But the problem is like the bigger accusations, like the COVID vaccine cards and stuff. The newspaper wants names of my sources, and everyone was like, no, I don't want to give out a name.
Yeah.
So I messaged like everyone and just be like, if you're not willing to give a name, here's the number for the newspaper. If you're not willing to give me a name, the story's dead. It's dead right now. We can't do anything with it. And so I give that out to a bunch of people. I didn't get any bites from any of them. Nobody responded back. To be quite honest, every single person I sent it to, nobody responded back. So I was like, all right, I'll take it into my own hands and just report them to the FBI and the state health department, add more charges to it. But these government agencies take a long time to do anything.
Yeah.
Well, then someone just sent me a message like out of nowhere saying, hey, the state health department got back. I gave him my name. The state health department got back to me. They're investigating them right now. Then I got a call and said, we're investigating them right now. So like, it's just, the ball just started rolling like yesterday. And this whole time I'm posting every little thing I get. I post on Instagram and Twitter and I tag them. So they just to like, let them know they're not off the hook and, to keep that story alive as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I was, just like I said in that video, it's becoming a really bad week, and it's not very long until. Oh, and the thing is, the newspaper told me they want a clear and precise message. What do you want to accomplish? And I said, I want Jeremiah to step down. That is what I want. Yeah. And so she really she was good about kind of teaching me how to be more clear about my message, because she said, you got a lot of stuff and I don't want you to be all over the place. If you really want to drive this home, stay on that message. So that is what I've been doing, and
focusing on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's at this point it's out of my hands, but it is under investigation. I know the exact name of the executive that has been doing it, and she at this point has a well, I can't say actually, but the thing here.
Yeah, it's in the works. So kind of like, oh, go ahead.
Should those employees are protected under whistleblower laws, correct? I mean, for as far as like reporting to the health department or to medical.
To the health department, yes, but to the newspaper, they want your names for liability's sake. Like they don't want to get sued.
Right.
So when I say,
Right.
here's all my information. They go, well, I say, here's all the information I have. They go, well, we need your information personally. I'm like, there's a lot of people out there that want to kill me, so I can't give you that. And I can't really give you my.
I like life, so no.
So I had to like talk to the editor, and I had to give him a compelling reason as to why I cannot give my last name. If I could give him my information to hold it privately, because of this reason. And so it's just a little more complicated that way. But but getting the actual witnesses to give their name was very helpful.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So what do you think?
I'm kind of learning about the law as I go.
The law as you go.
Yeah, and kind of learn about it as you go.
Yeah, yeah. So what is your like? What do you think? What are you hoping to like do in the future with TikTok and with like kind of what you've created?
I don't know. I'm constantly like my inbox on TikTok and on Instagram is just full. And I can't get to everything. Obviously I can't even get to like a little bit of it, but it's full notifications at all times. I don't know if I actually have a notification on my, like a comment on a video or a like, because it's just my inbox. That's where the notifications are from.
Yeah.
Every time anyone has any little, like this person threatened me, it's going to be in there. So like from as small as this person threatened me to this person like groomed me since I was 11 years old, and I want to get revenge, and like I can't do that.
Choose. Yeah.
Right. And then people saying you're good at finding people, help me find my dad. I haven't seen him all my life. I'm like, I can't. Don't put that on me. I can't do that.
I know, that's a lot of pressure.
And then I just give like a little philosophical look. If you haven't seen him, that's not your dad. You could do better. Like I can't do it.
Yeah.
You'll be disappointed. So I have just a lot of things, and I kind of just scroll through and click around and see what I find, and I go, I could do this, or this is challenging. But usually it's just people. I feel like I'm given assignments. So what I want to do, I want it to be a comedy page, but as a comedy page, it wasn't doing too well. I guess it wasn't too funny. So then like I kind of switched to politics, and then and after the election, and the thing was I was doing a lot of politics when it was around the election time, but after that I didn't really have the drive behind that a lot of the rest of you have, and you guys are really good at it, but it wasn't really there for me, and so I didn't know what else to do. And then it all started with seeing a video of Sarah Jameson talking about whipping her kids with a belt. I think it was her 3-year-old or 8-year-old with a belt, and I was like, and it just infuriated me. And then that went viral, and then suddenly that became my content, is going after people who were beating their children. Which, by the way, once I did one video and I started getting tagged in these type of videos, I didn't realize how horrible human beings were. I come across so many horrifying stories. So that's kind of what it was until people were like, hey, you're good at finding people. And so now I find people.
Yeah. I should bring you into some of my mom groups.
You should. You would be great in your mom groups.
Well, you want to talk about shameful parenting?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I bet I get a lot. But see, people. One thing that kind of threw me off for a while were people like, "Why do you only go after moms?" I'm like, I'm not targeting moms. I go after whatever I'm tagged in.
But they just happen to be more vocal about stuff like that, I think, too.
It just happened to work. And so I'm looking for like dads. Like I was in there looking, I was scrolling like, come on, you got to find a dad that's hitting their kid or something somewhere. And you find them like, and then, yes,
it's so sad. We're searching out dads that are beating their children.
So, yeah, it's like a mixed reaction. I'm like, it's a guy. Oh, well, I mean, it's not exciting, but it's a guy. And then, then you have to write that line of like, oh, if it's a person of color, well, they're going to be treated differently by the system. And I don't want to be responsible for that. So I, maybe shy away from that a little bit. So it was all very tricky. And then you have different CPS laws in different states. And there was one that like, it broke my heart because there's this lady who was openly talking about hitting her.
In Virginia. In Virginia.
Virginia, that one, hitting a 2-year-old.
I live in Virginia.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal to hit your 2-year-old. And I was like, this sucks. I hate this so much.
Yikes.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Northam hasn't reversed that. He's reversed a lot of other things, so I'm really surprised that's not been on his list. But
maybe I should just bring more attention to it then.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like these laws that just kind of sit in the background and don't get, elevated because they're not a focal point, and they just sit there forever.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people.
This is how you find the dads.
I'm sorry?
I'll tell you how to find the dads. So this is how you find the dads. Go into the mom groups, and I'll send you screenshots. I've got plenty of them. That's where the wives complain about how the husbands are assholes to them. And obviously you reach out to this person and you say, but that's where all the dad crap is. It's in the mom groups because they talk about how awful of parents, their exes or their current husbands or whatever. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. I was agreeing along. It's the thing is too though. The part after that kind of the part that's kind of disappointing is that it doesn't always lead to something, and it's not my goal to get people's kids taken away. So I know that their kids are not going to get taken away for this, but at the very least, freak them out, get them a couple visits, get them a couple of checkups, maybe get some information, some teaching. But the people who want to come after me and kill me, they think that those kids got taken away, put in the foster system, and literally say this, that they're put into a trafficking ring, and that's my fault. I'm like, none of that happened. None of that happened. I will be lucky if CPS even came more than once.
Responds. I know.
Yeah.
That's like a major conspiracy, though. I mean, they genuinely believe that. I've seen I get a lot of messages where people tell me to go look at someone's content, and they're advocating, saying, I have this CPS case against me. I didn't do anything, and now my kid's being sent away and now they're in a sex trafficking ring. This is not a small conspiracy. This is a big thing.
It's a global conspiracy. It's a global conspiracy. Yeah. Right. 100%.
And I don't respond to the ones that say, my kid, help me, my kid was taken from me. Because I go, well, there's got to be a lot involved in whatever's going on there. And it's really not my place. It could be something real, but it's out of my pay grade. I can't any more than you can. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Well, you're not a lawyer. You're not a.
Yeah, I could only mess it up. Is really all I could do.
Just a TikTok vigilante, and we love you. Okay.
The best I could do is putting pressure on authorities to do their job, and because everything gets thrown back to the back burner. So as long as I bring attention to it, then they'll do their jobs, and that's really most I could do.
So I don't know about Jessica's. Mine are open. I am having a hard time getting to them now, but they are open. If you really want to get me, you should message me on IG because I have a better chance of seeing them there. On TikTok, I probably have about 300 DMs right now that I have not viewed. So I can't get to them fast enough. I get just like you get sent hey, can you help me find so-and-so? I get a lot of people send me disinformation. Hey, can you talk about this? Hey, and I'm like, and it's just so overwhelming because I'd love to blast every single thing I get sent, but it's more than just watching the video. It's I have to research what they're talking about, and I have to it's time. I'm investing a good 45 minutes to an hour just in getting the backbone, and then I'm gonna spend another 30 minits to an hour trying to make a video about it. So it's and I'm not getting paid for this. I'm just doing this. I'm just doing this to do this. So
same here. I don't make a single cent.
Yeah, and if you have young kids like Donesh and I, it takes 4 to 5 hours to do any of those things.
To get anything in, you're the kids are quiet enough to record something, you hear screaming in the background, this is not going to work. So I will get to this.
I will get to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell everyone. Yes. Are your DMs open, Jessica?
My DMs are open. I'm lonely and shadow banned, so nobody ever talks to me. So bring it on.
Senator, yeah.
But send it on, Big Beard Mom. All right. Well, so tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay, so on whether it's YouTube or TikTok or Twitter, it's the same, or Instagram, same username, that Donish guy. You can find me on all of them. On Twitter, I've been a little more active than I usually am. On Instagram, I've been very active. On YouTube, I've been working on something that different than what I post content on my other things. I haven't posted my series that I'm going to start there. It's going to be a longer series. So if you guys want to go ahead and subscribe there, I will have something coming up, but it's going to be different than what's going to be on other pages.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for jumping on with us.
I'm so sorry I
After
came so
your
late.
run.
I apologize.
Okay.
No worries. You found us. We're good. We're good.
We did.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We will see you next week with Miss Natalie Misfit. Is that right? Is that her name?
Yes. Miss
Good.
Natalie Misfit Mama. Yeah.
Natalie Misfit Mama. We will see you next week, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. All right, everybody. See you later. Thank you.